that's one side of LA going to the other side. Had the Clippers finally found their formula? They were down and out for a little while. James Harden finally came in, and they were struggling for a second, but they moved Russ to the bench, allow Harden a little more control and running the offense, and things have opened up at least slightly. They won a game at least for making some kind of progress. Have you seen a formula that could be in place now with the Clippers to get them on track to be the team that we thought they would be with Harden in the fold?
I think I'm a little hesitant to say that it's like the successful formula yet. I think, as we said in the offseason, it felt like Russ would have to be a six-man in terms of the four of them fitting together on the court, and just the lack of spacing, like when Russ is out there because he's not a great three-point shooter, and him and Harden both being at their best when they are the main facilitator on the floor. They're not the greatest off-ball players. I think PG is probably the best of the four playing off-ball, and then Kawhi after that. But Russ and Harden, we've seen them be more natural and effective as the true point guard. So it makes sense that one of Russ or Harden would have to be the sixth man. And Harden's the big contract guy. Russ is the guy getting paid $4 million a year to stay there. So it makes sense. But in terms of the success we've seen on the floor, the defense still isn't great because of what they lost in that trade. We've seen them put together 3 wins, 1 against the Rockets, 2 against the Spurs. So I guess that makes them 3-6 now since getting Harden.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm struggling to say that it's the formula has fully been found yet, because we saw that game last night against the Pelicans. Just defensively, when Harden's out there, it's not the greatest.
Real
so
quick,
they still have some things to figure out.
To that point, again, we're here on Saturday afternoon, right before the Laker game starts, right before the Clipper game themselves start. They're 3-6 with the current construction. They play the Mavs tonight, and the Mavs in general have had their numbers, so it could be 3-7 after tonight. But again, we'll hope for a better result and see if they can overcome what Luka and Kyrie throw at them. But I think they still have some work to do. But I do think, we talked about it on the NFL side, sometimes beating up on bad teams is a good thing for you. Sometimes you should find your good somewhere. So if they were able to use those games to, I think they were up by 20 or 30, I think, against the Spurs.
The Spurs are one of those games.
Yeah. So if they have figured out something that works against somebody, they can take that and translate at least a little bit against the rest of the league going forward, to at least build upon it as a step. So, excited to see how they put it together. I think Harden, being the system that he is, allowing him to fully figure that out now with Kawhi and PG there. I think the interesting thing with that, as we talked, we didn't address, as much as he is a system and he needs to be able to be that, Kawhi and PG have systems of their own. So it's like, yes, you want to be your own system, but you have to understand that there are other guys that have just as much, if not more, pull than you are on that squad that still have to be adapted to. So you can't just say, I want my team I want. You have 2 other guys who feel the same way. So they're finding their way a little bit. Excited to see how they continue to play together there.
Another thing that might fly under the radar for some who aren't like paying super close attention to the Clippers is that Mason Plumlee went out. So that was big for them in terms of their backup big, and Zubac needing to play more and then not having much size behind him. So bringing in Daniel Tice, I think, was a good addition for them. He's played pretty solid, like 20 minutes a night for them, but his minutes have been solid since they brought him in as the backup. But that also was one of the reasons why they were struggling too when they brought in Harden, because I think Plumlee got hurt in that first game against the Knicks that Harden played. So I think there's a couple things working against them, just chemistry wise, continuity wise. Like, they didn't get a training camp with Harden, so it's going to take some time. But the formula in terms of Russ being the sixth man, I think that hopefully can work. Like, it seems like his rhythm has kind of been thrown off now, like coming off the bench again. Whereas they were kind of humming before Harden got there. I think he can find that coming off the bench and be impactful in those bench minutes. But I think time will tell. Ty Lue still has to figure out some things as far as this offense and how it flows and some of the rotations. So the microscope's going to be on him. But
A very much a patient process for all parties involved in LA right now, and interested to see how that thing continues to go this season. What else I was going to say? You talk about defense. I was just going to mention real quick as well that PJ Tucker being the 5 could not sustain. As much as he could be a versatile defender with other guys around him, at times they try to put him in small ball lineups with him at the 5 next to Russ, Harden, and the other 4 they have there. As nice as that seems on paper, they didn't always execute, because all you have to do is put one big down there. All of a sudden, you put Wemby down low. Even in this game, for example, they did dominate the squads we pointed out. But in the moments when Wemby was down there versus PJ, it didn't quite go as they hoped. So they got to figure that out some kind of way. And Tice has been a welcome addition so far, and I'm excited to see Plumlee come back, which is something we didn't quite expect to say in 2023, but here we are. And yes, look at him for maintaining a valuable role in the league throughout his career as he has. So good things with the Clippers right now. They're finding their way. Any other point with the Clippers you wanted to make?
Or just with you having the San Antonio picture there, we saw that clip of Kawhi getting booed out there in San Antonio. And Popovich grabbed the mic and said, "This isn't who we are, guys. Come on, let's be nice here, guys." And the fans were not trying to hear it. I think the boos continued after that too.
Yeah, the boos got louder.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's deserved for Kawhi, or they're kind of bitter and need to get over it?
I think that is just what you're supposed to do. Like, that's almost how you welcome in your former player. Like, I think it'd be almost weird for it almost be like you cheer him before the game, like you welcome him back. You were here, you were by us for some time. Once the game starts, you're in a different jersey now. So I'm gonna boo you like I do anybody else. So it might be a little bit louder because I know who you are and you used to be here. But yeah, I thought that Pop got a little sensitive because he still was tied with Kawhi. But no, you gotta let the fans feel how they want to feel. Like like for our Lakers going up against the Cavs tonight, if they are cheering for LeBron every time he touches the ball, it's gonna be kind of weird. Like, y'all still feeling y'all gotta boo this man because he's on other squad. So you gotta let fans at least somewhat do what they want, because the passion is genuine. So I wasn't mad at them. I was laughing more at Pop, honestly. We ain't never seen that before. He stopped the game
right in the middle of the game.
Mike, like, yo, you can't even do that.
He probably got a key to the city there in San Antonio. They just let him do whatever he wants.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a funny moment, so I just wanted to bring that up.
The Spurs have lost a lot. And though we just had a whole talking about everybody finding their roles, guys being okay with their roles and all of that, for whatever reason, Russ stands don't quite understand his role with the Clippers. Like,
you were talking about the free Russ stuff.
He accepted his role as a pencil bench guy and contributing however it may be. And understand that he can elevate in the playoffs when that matters most, as we saw last year. But for whatever reason, Russ fans, the fans just by themselves, have been like saying free Russ and like saying to the Spurs. The stands have just having the weird takes about Russ. How do you feel about their reaction to Russ's, I guess, lesser role in LA right now?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, I'm a huge Russ fan myself. Like, you want to see him play. Like, you want to see him do well, of course. But this is a role that, like, he accepted. Like, the reports are that he went to Ty Lue, or he went to the Clippers and said that he wanted to come off the bench for the betterment of the team.
Every score says that. PG said that in the podcast. Like, they all confirmed it.
So like, respect to him for that. So like, we gotta like respect the decision. Like, he took the $4 million or whatever to come back to the Clippers because he wanted to be in LA. He wants to win. He wants to win a championship, and he wants to play like with these guys he has a good relationship with. I believe he was for bringing in James Harden as well, which in turn decreases his role. So we can't be pounding the drum and talking about free Russ when this is a decision that he ultimately made himself to want to stay there and want to be there. So if he's team first and wanting to win and that's his priority, we don't need to be clamoring for him to get his stats somewhere else. Like, he's got plenty of stats. He's already got a Hall of Fame resume. He doesn't need to do that anymore.
He's checked every box already. And the point it's interesting with the fans to the stands, as we're addressing right now. Like, the stands for all last year with the Lakers, it was like, Russ is not happy. Russ is in a bad spot. Russ is getting beat up on. We just want to see Russ happy.
Which was kind of toxic for the Lakers.
It was, sure. But the point after that was we want to see Russ happy. He goes to the Clippers and he's happy. And like, oh, well, it's not the right role. It's like, well, he's happy. Isn't that what you guys wanted? And it's like, oh, well, it's not enough. It's not how y'all want it. But if it's how he wants it, we gotta let him live his life out as he desires, as the fans follow his footsteps in a way. So he's happy here and playing his role and it's working out for the most part. I'm not mad at nothing for him being in LA as he is. I mean, again, excited to see how this thing continues to build up. So the stands online saying free Russ and sending Russ to the Spurs for whatever reason. I'm like, y'all got it twisted. Y'all must not be watching the games for real. Y'all just want clicks because he clearly is in the right place in LA right now. So yeah, I'm all for Russ there and not in San Antonio, or anywhere else right now. Excited, happy that Russ is happy here with the Clippers there. So that was the last thing I wanted to point out because folks were being weird for a second. But good stuff with both teams in LA. Excited to see what the folks have to say in the comments about it all. We'll surely be right to you guys there as well as all across all our social media. Be sure to follow us across the board. Section 300 on all platforms, and we'll look for you there. And appreciate y'all tuning in as you guys do.